Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Holy Happy Hour, and I am super excited to continue our Office series. There's only one sad problem, and I think I may need your guys' help in the comment section, is I recorded an episode. It was supposed to come out on Tuesday. I told you guys every Tuesday and Thursday they would come out. You guys responded so well to episode 1, but NBC has decided they're going to block it, and they're not going to allow that video. So, I don't know. Maybe comment, though, below what my video, like, why the first episode would be okay, but I did a video very similar for Diversity Day, which we're going to talk about today, and it got blocked. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on, and I'm just so confused because you guys could go in the search bar and put reaction to The Office, and there are so many people that do it, and I don't know if the clips have to be shorter, what it is. So yeah, you guys have to let me know in the comment section. I may take that video down and try reposting it. It's in appeal right now. But, you know, we're still going to do it anyway because it's such a great show. So this is how we're going to do it moving forward because I am going to continue with this series. And I hope that you guys do as well. We are going to encourage you guys to watch the episode before the next one comes out. And then we're going to talk about it here. So let's first of all take this time to invite you to like and subscribe to the channel. The whole purpose at the Holy Happy Hour is to mix my favorite things, a holy hour and a happy hour. And so you guys can grab a drink. Got a little whiskey tonight. Didn't want anything too crazy, so just a little whiskey neat. I'm drinking Elijah Craig tonight, and no, they don't pay for this episode or anything. Just a friendly support of a great, affordable whiskey. And honestly, like, whiskey's from $10 and whiskey's at $100 a bottle. All taste the same to me, honestly. Well, I say some of the cheaper ones maybe, yeah, but you get it. So we are going to go and keep going. Like and subscribe. And also comment below for your chance to win a free Holy Happy Hour shirt. So we're going to jump into it today, starting with a recap of the show. So if you guys haven't watched it, you can pause the episode, go and watch it. Go and watch Diversity Day, and then let's jump right into it. So recapping the show. So we're in the office, and it opens up, and it just starts with Mr. Brown is in the office, and he is setting up. And Michael's in there, and he makes the comments about the rose, and it's like, "Yo, yeah, rose. That's a great setup." And you can just tell Michael is super nervous. He's anxious, and as we know from episode 1, that there's pride that is involved. There's a lot of pride in Michael, and man, how we can all just get like that sometimes. Like, pride, it's so easy to creep in. Michael has all the best intentions. He wants everyone to love him, and he just takes it way too far. We should want others to think well of us, but we shouldn't do things so that other people think well of us. And I think that's where Michael gets it just a little disordered, just a little bit. So anyway, they bring him into Diversity Today, and one of my favorite episodes or favorite scenes is when Michael wants to reenact the Chris Rock scene, and he's obviously the one that did it in the first place, and corporate's been called, and they're bringing in Mr. Brown to even do this, and I just love it. And he even says, like, his name. My name's Mr. Brown. And he goes, that's a test. I will not call you that. And he goes, well, it's my name. So, and I just love those throwaway lines. But it goes to Kevin, and Kevin does his best. Man, I'm not sure there's anyone that has a better heart than Kevin. Kevin is such a lovable. I think when God tells us to be childlike, I think of Kevin. I think of Kevin and just how just lovable he is. He's just so great. But he starts through the scene, and Michael just can't take it. His pride kicks in because he's butchering it. Like, he's just butchering the lines. Just let me do it. And he does it. And my favorite is when he's like, what, you want a cookie? At the end, it's just, it's so good. It's so, so good. These are the kind of scenes that I will passionately disagree every time someone is like, skip season 1. If you guys are going to watch The Office, skip season 1. You don't have to waste your time with that. Don't listen to those people. Don't listen to those people. So we're moving on, and it goes, and he's obviously got to sign the pledge, and he signs it Daffy Duck, and obviously this is just his ego and his pride and his just everything kicking in, and then we kind of see him change his attitude. He's now wanting, not change his attitude, but he's wanting to take things into his own hands now. He made the joke, said, I didn't learn anything. I can sign something that says I taught something. And now he's thinking to himself, like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to teach something. I'm going to teach my office how to not discriminate to people on the basis of their skin color. And he makes just what an amazing training video. And I don't know if you guys knew this, but Abraham Lincoln famously said, "If you are racist, I will attack you with the North." And that's one of my favorite lines. Michael is just so funny and everything. I love that it's like he would have been obsessed with ChatGPT. ChatGPT would have saved him in a lot of things. Now, I'm not a believer that ChatGPT is always right. I think that too many people are going to become reliant on it. But man, some of the things he said when he says stuff like that, I'm just like, you did not fact check that at all. You just flat out made that up. It's great. And then Jim has this question question. He's like, yeah, is that it? And he just wants to move on. Just like, let's get out of here. Just wants to go on and everything else. So they do the whole little diversity day. And then we kind of move forward into where things start to get really uncomfortable. And he starts with the cards. So he has everybody come in and they put a card on their head. And I love it that he's got to be the leader of the group. He's got to be the prideful person that's just like everyone looks to. So he slaps on the Martin Luther King Jr. and has everybody play this just absolutely ridiculous game. The crazy part about it is that he's just encouraging everyone to be racist, like stereotype each other based on what's on their head, stereotype them so they will know what race they are based on what you are saying and how you are acting to them. And it is just so terrible. And it comes to later, obviously it ends that scene with him, Kelly walking in from her meeting and him going to her and just like doing the whole Indian voice, and she smacks him. Finally, someone doing something to Michael Scott that he probably deserved. Sometimes he just needs a Kelly smack, and he's just like, great, yes, that's what we're looking for. And you can just tell he's like holding back his tear. I think he even turns and like holds his nose. And it's just like so funny. But yeah, but it continues and it pushes, and Dwight has the great famous, they're all my favorite, all famous lines to me. But when he's telling Pam to push the stereotypes, and he's like, and she says, okay, well, if I had to say based on stereotypes that I don't agree with, you might not be a good driver. And he goes, oh man, am I a woman? It was like so funny. And I just think to myself, like, there's so many improv moments in The Office that had to have been one of them. I would assume that'd have to be one of them. So yeah, so we just have this beautiful episode of diversity and how Michael's making it so much more big of a deal than his office thinks so. Mr. Brown was only called in to kind of do this seminar because he wanted to make it seem like he's not coming in for Michael, but really that's the only purpose. And then Michael takes that into his mind of I've got to do something to fix this problem. Like, because the racism, there's racism and I got to fix it. And his office is like Stanley and Kelly and Oscar, the minorities. They're just like, we don't experience this. We don't experience this. So I just think it's really funny. So such a great episode. So I want to first of all congratulate The Office because it's a great portrayal of a verse from Galatians. It's that there is neither Jew or Greek, for you are all one in Christ Jesus. So his intentions of Diversity Day and making sure people see past color of the skin and they see to the person. It's amazing. That's so great. We shouldn't see someone by their skin color. And also think we should never see someone by their sins. Sister Miriam Grace just said in a video I just watched recently that there are certain people in our lives that see past the sin and see past to who we are, who I am here. Like this person, they see past it. And if they know about my past and sins that I've done in the past, they see past that and they see to the soul that's inside that's crying out. And Jesus came to save that soul. Jesus came to save all the souls, from the people who committed very, very serious, heinous crimes to the people that are maybe actually pretty good people, but they're still sin because they're human. And maybe if they were to compare their lives, maybe their lives aren't as crazy, have as many ups and downs as a normal person's. But but that person still needs a savior, and that person still needs that salvation. And Jesus, no matter how small or how big, wants us to put our sins at the foot of the cross. And it's not, hey, Jews, you guys go first, and then Greeks, you guys go after, since you guys were kind of, you're part of the family now, but you're kind of adopted, so you guys go after. No, it's there is no Jews and Greeks anymore in God's eyes. This is all one. I think that's great. In the Catechism, 1934 through 35, it says, all humans have the same dignity. Every form of discrimination is incompatible with God's design. And I love that, because obviously Genesis is like, we were all made in the image and likeness of God. Man and woman were made in the image and likeness of God. And yeah, there is no discrimination at all. Like, there's no higher ranking of people. There's no higher ranking of people from a certain area, whatever. It's like we were all made in the image and likeness of God, and discrimination is incompatible with God's design. St. John Paul II also has a great quote. It says, human persons are willed by God. They are imprinted with God's image. Great office. Like, you're giving us a right message for the theme of the show. At the same time, Michael maybe doesn't handle it like he should. He's kind of got a very superficial line of dealing with this. And there's obviously a deeper theological way he could have gone, but I don't think maybe Michael's not the most religious person, I don't think. So it's great. He's got his very surface level diversity training where he's like, let's put all the stereotypes out there so that we can just like get past them, so we can work through them or whatever. Just great. All right, so when the employees are reluctantly wearing the index cards with the racial labels, it's so funny because Michael is encouraging them again to look at this person based on this. Okay, like Pam is Jewish, Dwight is Asian, Stanley unfortunately gets black, and he gets black, and then I forget all the other ones, but they are put cards there, and Michael is telling them, treat that person like what you see. And I don't know about you, but if someone was having if I want to teach my son when he's, let's say, older, he's 3. If I want to teach my son when he's older, like say 16, that, hey, you may be around people that offer you alcohol and it's bad. So what we're going to do today is we're going to drink a whole bottle of whiskey because I want you to experience how bad it is. I would never do that. It's so terrible. And so Michael is throwing this out there of like, we are going to discriminate and get it out there and show, like, try to guess this game. And it's like, honestly, at the end of the day, it doesn't even make any, I don't know where he was going with that whole thing. Doesn't make any sense, except it does end up making sense, but Kelly's the one that makes it make sense. Like, Kelly smacks him, and it's like, this is what will happen if I continue to do this. I just got a notification my battery's low. Hold on. I plugged my charger in, but then I forgot to plug into the computer. And usually, if you plug a charger into the wall and then you don't plug it into the computer, I found that it doesn't do anything. So strange. This is so unprofessional. I'm sorry, Matt Fradd, if you're watching this. I still want to be on your show one day. Okay, so we're back. So anyway, yes, he has them looking at the surface. Like, look at the surface, look at the surface. And we know in 1 Samuel 16:7, the Lord looks on the heart. The Lord looks on the heart. Again, discrimination is incompatible with there. And the Catechism, 1939, is kind of all in the same section of the Catechism. Solidarity requires a genuine commitment to the good of all, not just appearances. And so that's just kind of the focus that was put on by Michael. And so obviously in this episode, it's not me to say, like, guys, if you're watching The Office and you think that, like, this is great to do for Diversity Day training at your work, you shouldn't. Like, obviously, I know you're not, like, going to do that. I think there's just a fun aspect of seeing how ridiculous it is and how, like, maybe we could act a little better. But I will say that in this episode a little bit, but further on in the episode, I think that The Office actually shows this catechism quote very well, that solidarity requires a genuine commitment to the good of all. And there are times where, like, just off the top of my head, I'm thinking about when Dwight's kind of throwing a pity party because he thinks that he's sterile, that he can't get Angela pregnant. So he's sitting on the bus roof and they want to go get pies. And Jim goes up there and talks to him. Then he comes down. When he comes down, he is like, I'm going to get you that pie, Pam. And remember, Pam's like real pregnant at the time. And so it's just something that he's doing for the good of all. And everybody on the bus wants to get there. And Dwight now has a mission. I want to do what's for the good of all. Everybody wants to go there. Let's do it. St. Teresa of Calcutta has a good quote that kind of goes with this as well, this authentic versus performative inclusion. If we have no peace, it is because we have forgotten that we belong to each other. Man, Michael goes so back and forth with that all the time. Michael does things because he wants people like to see me, see me, see me, see me. And then he turns around and then all of a sudden does things exactly how he should. And he does things for others. And it's so great to see. An episode you'll see later is when Pam has her art show. It's not too far from now. It's season 2, I think, maybe 3. No, I think it's 2. But when Pam has her art show, nobody shows up except then Oscar and his snarky boyfriend. Well, let's not even talk about that. But they show up and they say it's motel art at best. It's like, ugh. But when Michael shows up, first of all, he's apologized. I'm so sorry I'm late. I had to run across town. And then he looks and he's just like, wow, how much? And he wants to buy it. And she's like, you want to buy it? And he goes, yeah, I have to have it for the office. And he's like, that's our building and we sell paper. And he just, when he gets out of his head and he gets out of this mindset of pride, he does something for the good of all. If we have no peace, it is because we have forgotten that we belong to each other. Sometimes Michael forgets that he belongs to his people and he wants his people to belong to him. But a great, great quote. So the episode shows how easy it is to go through the motions of tolerance without real love or understanding. And Michael doesn't quite see that, but that's okay. Michael's a work in progress. There we go. That was a mouthful to say. He's a work in progress, but aren't we all? We're all a work in progress, and we are working to try to get to the kingdom of God. Now, I've got 2 more points to get to, so we're about the halfway point. So I want to take this time to remind you to like and subscribe, but also comment below. This is your second opportunity. You're going to have 3 opportunities to get a free shirt. We're sending out a free shirt with every single episode. And this time, the second one, let me know what I was say Michael when he said, what race are you sexually attracted to? Let me know in the comment section who your favorite Office character is. We'll stick with the first one. We'll come up with the third one later. I didn't really think about these, but we'll kind of come up with them on the spot. So who's your favorite Office character in the comment section? I want people to be thinking like, why'd that person comment that? That's super, super weird. All right. So Jim and Pam, they kind of have an interesting time through all this in this series. We won't get a whole lot into it, but it talks about how Jim just kind of quietly helps Pam. And then at the very end, you see like Pam finally rests on his shoulder. Like he kind of quietly helps her, and he's assisting just a little bit. You know, he's still trying to keep his distance. There's still Roy there, but he kind of assists and helps her out. And then she quietly finds rest on his shoulder. And I think about that. I think about that with us, like how we're constantly being helped. God is constantly helping us. Even I honestly, truly believe that God is constantly helping those as well that don't even believe in him, because there are times where it's like that car almost rear-ended me. And if you're an atheist, it's like God prevented that. Like God did not want you to die. I think that there are times, and maybe obviously he's helping the other person behind you, but you're benefiting from it too. But God is always reaching out to us. Like he is a God that comes after us. And so in this one, it's really cool to see like Jim reaching out and helping, even though he knows like this relationship cannot happen. She's engaged. He just loves her so much. So he continues to seek after her. I'm not in condoning that. Like if someone's engaged or they're married or they're dating someone, like don't just keep seeking after them. But there are ways that you can still show like your love for them by being friendly and showing that you care. You just need to know where that boundary is. But he shows it and just how God, he reaches out to us. Jesus is seeking after us. And then we hopefully just one day realize that we can find adoration and we can find a prayer life and we can finally just find rest in him. When I was at new staff training for Focus, I heard that someone said in a talk, they said, you should go to your holy hour with the thought, not that I'm going to go do my holy hour, but I'm going to go and receive my holy hour. Jesus is seeking, and when he's seeking and we answer that call by going to prayer and going to adoration, we're actually going in to receive. Like we're going in, not in a selfish way. It's like, all right, God, fill me up now. But like in a, Oh my gosh, God, like I'm empty. I need you. Please fill my cup so that I can pour into others. And I think the more we pour into others, the more we need to go back for Jesus. It's like, I've got 3 plants in my front yard now. Yeah, I'm getting into gardening. Oh, I got 3 plants. I need to do some before and after photos for you so you guys can see the garden. Maybe that'll be our third. Let's do that. Our third question is, or third comment, like comment below the color of the plants that I have out in my garden. I've got 2 orange mums and 1 purple mums. So type mums, orange mums, purple mums, either one, and you get entered in again. You can get entered in 3 times to win a free shirt, and I'll ship it right to you. We actually have some cool ideas for some shirts coming up anyway. But anyway, Jesus seeks after us, and he wants us to find rest in him. Oh, what I was saying is I've got these plants, and no, I forgot where I was going with that. Anyway, we're going out, we're seeking, and we want to. The more we are filled with or the more we pour out into others, the more we need to be filled. And I'm thinking about that with our plants. Of like how many times, like when I had the 2 plants, I'd come in, I'd fill the cup, and I go pour out, and I come back and I fill the cup, and I go pour out, and then I was done. But now I have a third one, so there's a third trip. And as I'm going to dig out the entire garden and add more things, and as that, it adds more trips. And I've got to keep going back, because if I want to continue to tend the garden, if I want to continue, and garden is typically in the Bible is parallel to kind of representing like our soul. Even Adam and Eve put in the Garden of Eden, and they were to till it, they were to guard it, to till it, to work it, to continue to just cultivate this garden. And so like those trips are added. The more I pour out, the more my mission grows, the more I've got to go back to the sacraments. And you can't let your sacraments grow to where you're like, I don't really have time to go back to the sink. And that's when those plants start to suffer. And so I love this seeking out. And so in Pam finally finding rest on his shoulder, Colossians, and this is a great one just to kind of for Jim, as this would be a verse I would send Jim if like I knew what he was struggling with, and as a guy was walking with a mission. Clothe yourself with compassion, kindness, humility, meekness, and patience. Above all, love. And I would send this with a little bit of disclaimer and a little bit of warning. I would say it's not guaranteed that God will give Pam to you in marriage. Maybe she is just always going to be a friend. But if you truly believe she's your soulmate, and you truly believe that you guys are meant to be, give it over to God. Continue to clothe yourself with compassion, kindness, humility, and meekness, but be patient and go to prayer. And above all, like love Pam as a friend, and love her, and don't cross those boundaries. Be patient, but continue to bring that to God. The catechism kind of talking just in general about charity. Charity requires forgiving one another as Christ forgave us. That one, I guess, doesn't relate as well to Jim and Pam. But Michael in The Office, this is, I kind of said that as if it related. This was supposed to be on the next. So Michael is in need of this often. Charity requires forgiving one another as Christ forgave us. And I think that Michael is constantly in need of this, that like they, as the staff of the office, need to be super charitable to Michael. And the more that they can be charitable, the more they are charitable, the more they're going to have to forgive him for what he's doing. But hopefully know that like we were talking about earlier, where it was said that if we have no peace, it's because we have forgotten that we belong to each other. And just remembering that Michael may be losing that inner sense of peace, and that we need to remember that charity is forgiving one another as Christ forgave us. The last point I wanted to make, and then we'll kind of do a little closing wrap up on this, is that The Office uses cringe comedy to expose pride, ignorance, and our shared need for grace. And I love this one. We mentioned this one in the first episode too. I believe this verse is Proverbs 17:22. A cheerful heart is good medicine. At the end of the day, I think that's what Michael brings. I think that's what Jim brings to Pam. I think that eventually you're going to see this is what Dwight brings to Angela, and Angela brings to Dwight, even though Angela's so shrill and everyone thinks she's so mean all the time, that a cheerful heart is good medicine. And you really, really see it when Angela is getting married. If any of you guys haven't seen The Office, I'm sorry. I'm spoiling so much stuff for you. Pam's pregnant. Angela gets married. It's been out for forever, and it's one of the most popular shows, so I'm not really sorry. But a cheerful heart is good medicine. And my favorite saint ever, St. Philip Neri, says, a joyful heart is more easily made perfect than a downcast one. And it's such a great, great quote to, I think that the first one's good for the workers. I always say cast, it's a show, but I mean like the workers in the office. The St. Philip Neri quote would be a great quote to send to Michael. If I was a good friend of Michael and I was walking with him and he was one of my disciples, whatever. A joyful heart is more easily made perfect than a downcast one. It's like, Michael, continue being yourself and being joyful and continue to seek to work on yourself. Like, man, you don't, and not everybody needs to agree with you all the time. Not everyone needs to like you. You don't always have to be the center of attention. But Michael, I commend you for being so joyful all the time, even in amidst diversity day training where people cringe, people hate it. Oh man, in today's age, I can't imagine if someone said we were doing diversity day training. I would absolutely hate it. I would not want to be there. It's such a weird thing, but it's also in this idea of a Christian joy. A joyful heart is more easily made perfect than a downcast one. Is that Christian joy doesn't mean laughing at others, but it does mean we can laugh at ourselves and learn. So there's this difference between being joyful at the expense of somebody else, and because they, let's say, we use the example of they, like, you're laughing at someone because they like sat on toilet paper and they came out of the bathroom with toilet paper, versus you sat on toilet paper and you came out with toilet paper and you're laughing at yourself. There's a difference there. And then that kind of joyful when you're able to laugh at yourself. Oh my gosh, this is also brought up in the office when Jim coaches Michael on how to make everyone just stop giving him a hard time. It's like, joke with yourself. You should go out there and just admit up to it. And he's like, I think that's a stupid idea. You are a dumb person. He goes, yeah, I am a dumb person. And he's just like, no, you're not. He goes, see? He goes, and he has this big revelation, and then he goes out there and he does it, and it works so well, but then he takes it too far, and he's like, too far. Thanks a lot, man. It's just so great. But yeah, but Christian joy doesn't mean laughing at others, but it does mean that we can laugh at ourselves and learn. And so hopefully you guys are get this from the episodes. The Office, if it was around today, all of those workers would have either quit their job, would have been fired from their job. A lot of them. There's going to be a lot of times where we're going to be talking about, in today's age, this person would have been fired. But if they weren't fired, maybe let's talk about like what else they could have done better. Maybe what a boss would have told them in their meeting afterwards, like, hey, I need to talk to you. You can't be doing that. Because there are some funny things. I mean, Dwight literally sets fire to the office and doesn't get fired for it. So a lot of stuff that's going to happen that we can learn from and take from. But today's day, this staff would not be there anymore. The company would have folded way before it does. It would have had way more problems than it does. But watching The Office and doing these Christian reflections and perspectives is something that I truly think can be beneficial for us all. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, even without the clips. I know that the clips are a big part of it. And trust me, I'm doing my research and I'm trying to figure out how to do that. I'm not a professional at all this, and the Holy Happy Hour is a one-man team. It is just me. And so it's not like in all the lighting you see, like this great light here, and there's a light here shining on Jesus back here. All of that was given to me by Rob Kazmark. He was on the show, and he's like, hey, man, can I give you a tip? This is afterwards. Can I give you a tip? You're really, really bright. Like, change this. Only reason this set looks pretty good is because I got this as a going away gift before I joined Focus. My son, we lost at 21 weeks, and we got this beautiful picture from a friend of ours. And then this crucifix was a gift, I believe, from maybe RCIA or something. The same with this. You can't really see the words, but it's a catechism. Those are both from RCA. And so this was put together well from my wife. She was able to really help bring this together. It is a one-person team. But I really hope you guys enjoyed the episode and that you guys are getting something from it, because I love sharing the faith with you guys, and I love keeping it lighthearted and looking at Christian perspectives and finding common ground with our Protestant brothers and sisters, or if you're Protestant watching, with your Catholic brothers and sisters, and where we can find common ground. Because again, at the end of the day, this is just such a great way to grow in our faith. And there's a famous quote by Bishop Fulton Sheen that we talked about this morning. It's like, guys, when TVs entered living rooms, the devil also entered living rooms. And so there's such an evil that can happen out there with TV and with social media and everything like that. But I think if we can find the Christian, and I try to use the word Christian perspective or Catholic perspective, but Christian perspective to incorporate everybody. If we can start to look through the eyes of a Christian perspective, and we can actually see in movies when it's like, oh, this person should have actually acted in this way, I actually think it'll sharpen our tools. So when we're in the real world and someone truly acts like that in the workplace, we know how to respond the way Jesus would respond. And then we also know when we're watching something and we're like, I should not watch this, and you should turn it off. I used to love watching Dexter. It's such a great show, and they've like done more. Like, it's going on right now, and it looks great. But this senseless killing is honestly desensitizing us. It's making us not as weary to like seeing death. Like, I guarantee you, if they posted to bring up like Charlie Kirk for just a second, if they posted the video and they showed everything. I mean, they were filming as close as I am to this camera. Their cameras were that close. So they have footage this close. And they could release it. No, they can't. But if they were able to release it with no blurring out anything and you could see everything, I guarantee you it'd be the most watched video in the history of YouTube, because we're so desensitized to it. We have things like Dexter, and we have things like Squid Games. And I just saw clips from that movie Kick-Ass, and it's got kids that are playing superheroes killing a bunch of people, and just killing is like really desensitized us. And it's gonna get worse and worse and worse in TVs and movies. So my hope is, not to end this on a solemn note, my hope is to end on a hopeful note, is that we are able to see with a Christian perspective. We could see a trailer for a movie and say, I see where that's going. I don't think that'll be fruitful for my eyes. And then we can also see stuff that's like, I think that'll be okay. I'll go watch it. And then you're able to see during it, oh, wow, that character shouldn't have done that because that actually portrays the vice of this. Or that character actually portrayed the virtue of humility very well. It starts to give you a better perspective. And then maybe, hopefully, it'll actually even help you start fruitful conversations with your friends, with your spouse, with whoever is your movie-going friend, or whoever is your binge-watching TV friend. That's my goal with this episode, or this series. And I want to do every episode of The Office, and I promise you, I'm going to be trying to get those clips back playing right here. I'm doing my research. Episode 2 with the clips is currently in appeal. So email NBC, message them, tell them you should let this happen. It's a great episode. It's a great podcast. You should let it happen. They approved the first one. I don't know why the second one's not going through. So you guys have to tell me. But again, share in the comments. I'll give you a 4th entry for a free shirt. Tell me in the comments like what I need to do to be able to use the clips as well, because I don't know why. I've seen people literally post, and they're not with NBC and they're not The Office, and they post 1 hour long videos of clips from The Office, and it doesn't get flagged, and they're able to post it. So I don't get it. I don't understand. So hopefully the appeal goes through, because I know you guys really liked that first episode. It did, 25 times the views of my last video. And so I really, really think that this is a series that you guys want to see, and that's what I want to do. I want to provide you guys what you want to see, but also it's something I want to do. I'm going to do it with or without the clips, but I know that you guys probably really like the clips. So please continue to support. If we hit 25 likes, I'll give away 2 shirts. If we hit 25 likes, so like, comment, subscribe, help us hit 3,000 subscribers. But if we hit 25 likes, I'll give away 2 shirts. You guys know the way to comment and get involved. I hope you guys have a blessed day. And you guys that watch these episodes, you guys that are subscribed, I don't know you by name, but Jesus does. And I pray for you guys in my holy hours. And I offer up rosaries, and I tend to really offer up the prayers in specific decades for you guys, especially in the sorrowful mysteries, the carrying of the cross. I don't know why, but for some reason, and during the carrying of the cross, I tend to think of you guys a lot. You guys that watch here, you guys that are trying to grow in your faith, especially through social media, what we coined the digital diocese, because you guys are trying to grow in your faith in this. There's also a cross you're carrying, because there's a lot of temptation, and there's a lot of things and ways that we can fall. And so I pray for you guys, especially in that mystery. And so I hope you guys know that. I can't wait to continue to grow in this. I've got some great shirt ideas coming out. I want to launch stickers that I can send to you guys. I've got some amazing guests, and we're going to announce them soon. I just scheduled one for the end of October, and I'm so excited. So we're going to be announcing and starting to publish that soon. We'll probably do it as a live stream as well, because it's that big of a guest. So I'm super excited for that one. But in the meantime, you guys have a blessed week. I am so looking forward to our next episode. It'll be episode 3, I believe, is the basketball game. and I'm so excited to continue this series with or without it. I hope you guys stick around for it. And again, comment below, and I look forward to seeing you guys repping that Holy Happy Hour gear. Peace.